Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into an absolutely epic progression fantasy where we explore what happens when time literally becomes money and a mortal man ascends to literal godhood. We're looking at the staggering rise of a character named Sid Singh, also known as Mr. Sid. He's a guy who stumbles upon an artifact that completely shatters the rules of reality as we know it, taking him from the very bottom of society straight to the cosmic throne.
Before we really get into it, I want you to just stop and think about something for a second. What is the exact price of 1 year of human life? We always say time is money, right? Well, this source material takes that concept to a terrifying, highly literal extreme. It brilliantly contrasts the mundane reality of an ordinary citizen struggling to get by with the massive, cosmic scale of what Sid is about to achieve.
So according to our newly awakened time merchant, Sid Singh, the exact answer is 300,000 yuan. You see, Sid discovers this incredibly mysterious pocket watch that allows him to pause time and actually see the exact remaining lifespans of everyone around him. And with it, he makes his very first trade. He buys 1 year of a broke college student's life for just 300,000 yuan. And what does the student want this money for? To buy his girlfriend a limited edition iPhone and some luxury goods. 1 full year of a human life just gone. For a smartphone?
Today, we're tracking a truly mind-bending escalation. We're going to cover 1. The Time Merchant's Awakening. 2. Founding the Eternal Club. 3. The Micro-Universe Project. 4. The River of Time. And finally, 5. The Deity Hunters. We are making a massive leap from street-level pocket watch transactions to the creation of literal pocket universes.
Part 1. The Time Merchant's Awakening. This is the exact moment Sid realizes just how wild his new powers actually are. He realizes he can look at literally anyone walking down the street and see floating digital numbers right above their heads, showing their exact remaining lifespan down to the millisecond. But more importantly, he figures out he can harvest it, store it, and transfer it.
It's honestly a fascinating look at the brutal economics of this world. Sid establishes a super rigid pricing model where a year of time equals exactly 1/5 of a person's annual income. This means he can cheaply harvest time from desperate young college students for a few 100,000 yuan and then turn around and sell that exact same year to a dying 98-year-old billionaire like the patriarch of the incredibly powerful Rome family for hundreds of millions. He is quite literally siphoning life from the desperate young to the wealthy old and pocketing astronomical profits in the middle.
Moving right along to Part 2, Founding the Eternal Club. Because, let's be real, running around doing sketchy individual back-alley transactions just isn't going to cut it for long. To truly scale his godlike monopoly over life and death, he needs serious infrastructure. He needs an intensely devoted organization. And so, the Eternal Club is born.
What's truly crazy here is the sheer corporate gamification of eternal life. The Eternal Club operates on this incredibly strict, point-based hierarchy. Members have to earn points by completing high-stakes missions for Sid. At level 1, you can redeem up to 1 year of extra life. But if you dedicate yourself entirely to the club and manage to reach level 6, you can redeem up to 26 years of lifespan at a single time. Absolute loyalty to Mr. Sid directly translates into extended mortality.
But an organization this massive needs a seriously elite workforce, and Sid's recruitment strategy is just ruthless genius. He scans global databases for world-class talents who are quite literally knocking on death's door. He finds Robert Morris, an elite hacker dying of leukemia. He gets Solm, a top-tier combat specialist, Tanyanyo, a brilliant designer with a terminal brain tumor, and absolutely legendary scientists like Tang Jaru and Anthony Greta. He approaches them right on their deathbeds and offers them the ultimate trade: healthy years of life in exchange for their eternal servitude as his employees.
And that brings us to Part 3, the Micro-Universe Project. This is where our explainer takes a massive pivot into hard sci-fi territory. With this brilliant team of scientists assembled, Sid stops just saving individual lives and starts literally playing God with what they call the Genesis Project.
Now, they start relatively small. They build this initial sandbox world that is precisely 666 square meters, so roughly a tenth of a football field. It's a completely sealed-off environment, meticulously calculated to have the exact right atmospheric pressure and chemical conditions to force and observe biological evolution.
But you might be thinking, doesn't evolution take millions of years?
Well, normally, yeah, but not for the Lord of Time. Using his unique abilities, Sid literally accelerates time within this sealed sandbox by 100 million times. Sid and his scientists just stand outside the glass, watching cosmic dust turn into proteins, watching the literal spark of life, and seeing microscopic civilizations rise and fall in mere months of real-world time.
Of course, as you can imagine, one tiny sandbox just isn't going to satisfy his ambitions. The escalation hits a whole new level with microscopic universe number 2. To make this one a true functioning universe, they need massive gravity systems, and they need a literal artificial sun. To pull off these physics-defying feats of engineering, Sid realizes he doesn't just need modern scientists anymore. He needs the absolute greatest minds in human history. He needs people like Nikola Tesla and Isaac Newton.
Which leads us perfectly into part 4, the River of Time. Realizing the modern world simply doesn't have enough room, or frankly enough visionary talent for his cosmic ambitions, Sid learns how to physically step out of the present dimension and wade directly into the flowing River of Time. I absolutely love this quote from the text. He is basically walking backward through centuries, wandering as a cosmic salesperson through the endless branching flow of human history. He isn't just passively observing things either, he is actively interfering with it, treating the entire timeline of humanity as his own personal recruitment pool.
His strategy here is just brilliant. He specifically targets historical legends right at the very moment of their tragic deaths. He walks right up to the brilliant strategist Zhuge Liang while he's dying in his military camp. He approaches the father of genetics, Gregor Mendel. He contrasts their dark, predetermined historical fates with the new, immortal sanctuary he offers them. He literally saves them from the history books, pulling them forward through the centuries into the modern era to work in his underground labs.
Enter Part 5, the Deity Hunters. Because you can't just manipulate the timeline on this massive, unprecedented scale without somebody noticing. It ends up attracting the attention of a highly dangerous, incredibly well-funded global coalition known as the Deity Hunters.
And these deity hunters are no joke at all. They're backed by 11 different nations, they're led by ruthless operatives named Audrey and Adams, and they are armed with actual supernatural weapons. But here is the really fascinating part. They don't actually want to kill Sid. You never kill the golden goose. They want to capture him alive so they can extract his secrets of time manipulation and secure eternal life for themselves.
So how exactly does a literal time god handle a heavily armed, multinational ambush? Completely effortlessly. First off, because he controls the very fabric of time, he casually observes their top-secret planning sessions like he's watching a live stream. Second, he purposely lures them out just to expose their roots. And third, he doesn't just defeat their leader, Adams, he completely breaks his mind by banishing him to the void.
He traps Adams in this void of completely empty, frozen time for 100 years. Just imagine the terrifying psychological nature of that punishment. A full century of absolute sensory deprivation where you are practically begging for death, but your biological time is frozen, so you physically cannot die. Sid treats this grand global coalition like it's nothing more than a minor inconvenience.
And that brings us to the culmination of his incredible journey. From a struggling guy complaining about his lot in life, making 300,000 yuan trades in dark alleyways, to a cosmic being who rips legendary scientists from the past and crushes global military coalitions with a literal snap of his fingers. Sid Singh has achieved complete evolution. He is the absolute, undisputed Lord of Time.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, totally provocative thought. In Mr. Sid's world, the abstraction of time is made horrifyingly tangible. If time was your absolutely only currency, and you knew exactly how many days you had left, how much of your own life would you actually be willing to sell for a taste of luxury today?